Hey everyone, thanks for joining me for 10 minutes in my garden. I'm not in my garden today. I'm going to be doing some azalea pruning. I'm at a friend's house in Charlottesville, Virginia. A little bit of a different zone than Nelliesford, Virginia. Seeing we're in a more urban situation near the University of Virginia, and also more urban area, and so I would say that we were in a 7A in Nelson or Nelliesford, and Rockfish Valley is in a 6B most likely, which is just a little bit of difference in the hardiness zone. I imagine there's a good difference in the heat zone, which people use now as well. But what we're doing is we'll work on pruning azaleas. Azaleas should be pruned after they finish flowering. They've been finished for a while. You want to get them as soon as they finish flowering, as close as possible, because they do set flower buds pretty soon after they finish flowering. We'll start setting new buds, and it looks like this one. Here's the flower bud that's being set, I think. Yeah. So, anyhow, some azaleas bloom strictly on the perimeter of the crown, the tip of the plant. Other azaleas will bloom all up and down the branches, interior flowers as well as exterior. So those, it doesn't matter as much. Those are also better used if you have deer problems, because the deer will eat off the tips of azaleas. But if you have azalea that blooms on interior buds as well, then you won't have so much of an issue. It won't be as bad. So as far as approaching azaleas go, this is a long hedge in front of the house. And so we'll mainly work on shaping it. As we shape, we thin. All spring flowering plants should just be pruned for shaping after they flower. If you just use that as a rule of thumb, then you're in good shape. You don't even have to know the name of the plant. Prune after it flowers. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on the back first, and then we'll do work on the top for height. I'm not going to go through every little thing with you, but I'll kind of show you how to start to address it. So as far as the prune goes, what we want to do again is we want to shape and thin. We want to think about how much it's going to grow in the next 6 months, and we want to look at its health. Now it's fairly thin. Well, it's not fairly thin, but it's thin enough. I can see some light going in there. I can see space in there. But while we'll prune, we're going to go ahead and do some thinning. And what that means is we're going to take a branch. We're going to take the long branches, okay? So we take a long branch. We take our pruners. We have our pruners away from us because that's where the cut's going to be. And we just slide it down to the next crotch in the branches and prune. So there you see, you don't see the prune. It's an interior prune. We're shaping it, we're thinning at the same time. We're going with it like that. We'll do this one. Don't really have to think about it. Take the longest branch, slide your snips in there, and cut. if you have a damaged branch and you cut the whole thing off, do it, or you see something a bit extra as far as pruning goes, and it'll take about a second to do it. You might have to cut a little bit back further or something like that. This is also now a good time to go ahead and fertilize the azaleas for a second time, because they've exhausted a lot of fertilizer that we fertilized them with when we did the standard spring fertilizing. It flowered since then, the heavy flowers, so go ahead and fertilize it again. With a little bit more of a phosphorus and potassium ratio, then I'm not worried too much about nitrogen for this fertilizer. When you fertilize, you do want to make sure that you do soil samples every few years, so that you have the right pH, the right organic amount in the soil, you have the right cation exchange capacity. We'll talk about that stuff later in another video. And what else do we want to make sure it doesn't have too much of anything. If the pH is wrong, it's then not going to take up the nutrients that's in the soil. So you might look at a soil sample and might have a whole lot of iron in there, or it might have a whole lot of phosphorus in there. A lot of times that's just a pH issue. Once you get the pH straight, it starts to absorb those nutrients. Certain pHs it can't absorb them, so they stay in the soil, or they eventually leach out. So you don't want to keep putting fertilizer in the soil that's not going to get used up. So at this point, what I'm doing is, I got this side done already. How long that was? A couple minutes. I didn't even want to come out here today and do this. Look how easy it is. Now we want to do the top, and this side is like good, okay, making progress. Easy to do the sides. As far as the top goes, what I do is we want it about chest high. We want it so if they're sitting here or standing here, they can easily see over, but they have some privacy. This is the area that's not too far away from the football stadium and other sports arenas, and so people will often park and walk by here. This is a UVA friend of mine, so they also have some get-togethers, people at the university and so forth. So I want to pick a certain height and go across. And pruning is the same. You take a piece where you prune all the way down to a good crotch. So the rest of that branch is still going to grow nice, but we got the height taken care of. You can't see the cut. Taking a lot of these older ones out, going a little bit further. Yeah, I'm going with all the cuts. Because this is going to be my guide. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see that, but you can see how I've established the height going across. So that's what we're going to go with. So what you're seeing is You almost cut a swath through the middle there, the right height. So let me finish that out so you can see how it looks. Alright, so basically this is what we're looking at. See, here's the height of the azaleas. I cut a path through right here. That'll be the height that we go from. So we got the side done. Looks nice. Here's undone. I hope that was helpful. We'll go ahead and work on this, and we'll show you when we finish up the side, and maybe even be able to get some close-up cuts in here eventually. All right.